To get the most out of this post, please be sure you've read Playing and Starting and have worked through the lessons that precede this one in order. This blog is like epoxy glue. You need to use what's included in the package in the order specified for the stuff to stick. Belly plus button plus our new best friend ing. Belly, a noun from the Old English belg, bellows. It's a verb from the Indo-European languages bell, to inflate. Modern usage, the abdominal cavity. Button, a verb, as in on the button, exactly at the desired point, time, or objective. Button, as a noun, a small knob-like part that is pushed. Thank you 4th edition Webster New World College Dictionary editors for your help in defining the English language for the 21st century. And now for a brand spankin' new selectively reconstructed word, belly buttoning. Inflating, and more importantly, deflating the belly like a bellows using our first belly button, the one that's on the outside of the abdominal cavity, to activate our inner belly button, the one that's on the inside, which is a baroreceptor on the descending aorta that when pushed slowly and rhythmically at a desired point in time, like when we're stressed out, activates a series of events in our brain, biochemistry, organs, and muscles that relaxes us. Ding dong, peace calling. If a crazy law was passed that let bloggers only have one post, one opportunity to put something of value out into the world, for me, it would be teaching you how to activate the rest and digest response with your 2 belly buttons. The rest and digest response is the opposite of the fight and flight response. Fight and flight is the state we get into when we're stressed out, or worse, stay in if we allow ourselves to be constantly, chronically stressed. When we realize that the mechanism for relaxing and regaining a sense of peace and calm when stressed out exists in our breath, specifically in a particular way of exhaling, we can see how close peace really is. This is why I've chosen the tagline for the website, Cultivating Peace One Breath at a Time. This is why you and I can be confident that peace is at hand, or rather, at breath. Peace is a result, not an action. So if we back up 2 steps, we might see that the first step to peace, the next action we can take in becoming part of a solution to the big issues that concern us, is learning to relax through a specific method of exhaling. Once relaxed, we each make better decisions, decisions that are unique to our individual circumstances and our situation. Those decisions that we make from a relaxed state result in the types of actions that'll bring about personal and global peace. It's a chain of events that's already changing history quietly all over the world. I'm guessing that not many folks are putting belly buttoning into the search engines quite yet. But from where I stand, actually I'm sitting right now to type this, as far as I can tell, the best thing any of us can do is to see to it that as many people as is humanly possible begin learning to exhale in a way that brings peace, calm, and relaxation. The rest is history. If you only remember one thing from this website, I sincerely hope that it'll be that you have, and have always had, the power to relax yourself at will, just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz always had those magic ruby slippers. She just didn't know how powerful they were. We can learn how to use our breath every time we feel as if we're not in Kansas anymore, whenever we feel off kilter. Your slow, deliberate exhaling will utilize your 2 belly buttons, setting off the series of events that'll bring you and those directly and indirectly affected by your actions and your words peace. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it, and the more being at peace will become your set point. Do you see why we say cultivating peace one breath at a time? It's not hokey, theoretical, esoteric, mystical idealism. This stuff is real. In this week's lesson, you'll be learning how to calm and ground yourself with your breathing, specifically your slow, easy, deliberate exhaling, the kind that requires the use of your 2 belly buttons, in an action we're calling belly buttoning. A quick shout out to the Pillsbury Doughboy, for I have a hunch that this won't be your favorite lesson, with all the poking around you've endured over the years. But everyone else, well, you're in, right? For whatever reason, the word belly button makes us smile. I'm pretty sure that if you're human, you have at your disposal the same standard issue pieces and parts that the thousands of people that already have learned this technique have in their human survival kit. A navel, belly button number 1, and a baroreceptor on the descending aorta, belly button number 2. I presume you have a hypothalamus in your brain parts, and all the raw materials wandering around in your body just waiting to create the biochemical actions that set off the relaxation response. You are peace in the raw, regardless of how yucky a day you might have had, how grim a situation might appear, how awful the commentary on the nightly news is, again. At any given moment, any living, breathing person has the raw materials for feeling a deep and true sense of peace. The belly buttons are doorbells that ring and summon a series of biochemical, neuromuscular, interrelated events that open and reopen the door to peace. You are special, you are unique, and you are one of a kind. But in this regard, this ready access to peace thing, we're all the same. That's why I'm so hopeful. I have faith that we humans were designed, built, and destined for peace. It's an evolutionary process that we can choose. Satmya. See playing on the menu bar if you're not yet familiar with the word Satmya. Like all people who learn this breathing technique, you will, with some time and practice, begin to treasure both the realization that you indeed do have two belly buttons and that they can work together to bring you peace and help you restore peace whenever you slip, which you will, for you're only human. Permanent peace is an abstraction, an unreachable pie-in-the-sky ideal. Permanent access to peace, well, now that's something very real, and that's what this week's lesson offers. Access. Permanent access. The way home. I'm supremely grateful for the two teachers who've taught me the theory, method, and technique you're about to explore. One gentleman is a physical therapist and the other an occupational therapist. They work at big fancy hospitals in New York City and use yoga for themselves and as a tool for helping their patients learn to heal. To them, for their thoughtful, clear, passionate teaching, and to you for your willingness to experiment with this to see what happens, I am forever grateful. We're all in this together. Thanks in advance for giving this a try. You can do this thing. You can learn to get calm right now. With practice, learn to regain a sense of calm with the technique we're calling belly buttoning. We use this name because it describes exactly what we're doing. Belly buttoning can change you, change all of us, and change the world for the better. And it's free and simple and accessible to anyone, everyone who can breathe with purpose. It's a we sort of thing that transcends gender, age, race, socioeconomics, and anything else that would otherwise be a barrier and come between us. It's common ground for all of us humans, that is, who have belly buttons, presumably you. For this week's exercises and activities, you'll need space to lie down with your knees bent and feet on the floor, called resting back, one chair, not too squishy, that allows your knees to bend at a 90-degree angle with your feet resting comfortably on the floor, called sitting tall and relaxed, two belly buttons, yours, authorization to proceed, which means you've practiced and are comfortable with the activities in Lesson 1, thus availing you of a soft, relaxed belly, the power of visualizing, and a positive attitude. This bears repeating. Do the lessons in order. You'll be glad you did, and grumpy and frustrated if you don't. Soft, by the way, does not imply weak, out of shape, or mushy, but those sorts of bellies will work for our purposes for the time being. What soft means in this case is a relaxed belly that's free to move away from the spine during inhaling. Revisit Lesson 1 and crocodile pose before you begin this lesson if necessary to encourage your first belly button to move softly away from the spine when you're inhaling. This action is critical and necessary and easily accessible in crocodile pose. See you and your soft crocodile belly and your crocodile smile in the media files.